Welcome back again to the channel. So today guys, I'm going to be sharing a particular video of what is currently going on in South Africa. Some group of Zimbabweans are illegally building a church in Zimbabwe and doing all their sacrifices and their rituals in that church. And a particular South African man was filming the rituals that they were performing in that church, and he was asking these questions: can South Africans also do the same thing in Zimbabwe? I'm going to be sharing the video here, guys. Comment below the comment section, what do you think about this? And I'm also going to be reading out the constitution of South Africans when it comes to owning a church in South Africa. Please stay tuned, watch from the beginning to the end, like and share.
You disrespect us on our own country. You say that we are traitors.
In this country, we're in Pretoria West. This is really upset. They fail to do these things in their own countries. Why can't they open their churches in Zimbabwe? Why can't they do this? Why can't they do this in Zimbabwe? So these are things that we don't understand in our country. We will never allow this. Never. We will never allow this. We will never allow this. These makeshift structures, we will never allow this nonsense. So we are taking down this church. There it is. You come and do shrines here. You are doing offerings here. Look at what these people are doing here in this country. Look at what these people are doing in this country. These are shrines. They are offering in our own country. They are doing offerings in our own country. You can't do an offering for your own ancestors there in Zimbabwe. Who said these people must come and do this thing here? Look. We will never allow this. This is our country.
Which is corner of WF Ngomo and Bentekan. As Councillor said, we've uncovered things that should never be uncovered in the church. We have disconnected their water because they've breached their water. We have disconnected electricity because they've breached. These people have been taken to court, and their matter is with the High Court. But while we are busy, with the High Court process, they have extended here. If you see the structures at the back and the structure behind us, these are not approved by the city of Tshwane. And there was a complication because the person who's been running this church has been running this church for a number of years, but it's not the owner. So we're busy now locating the owner while we're dealing with the bishop who's been occupying, but not only occupying, busy with illegal activities in the church. I don't know, residents of Tshwane, if the bishops of churches can stoop so low to criminality, how much more about the criminals that we deal with in the city. So this church now, the colleagues are busy finalizing the paperwork. We are closing down this church. If you look at the capacity of the church, you will see that they're supposed to apply for job services every time there's church here, so that there's no accidents that cannot be prevented. They must actually, in terms of the capacity, they must have ambulances on site every time they hold a church because of the size of the capacity. But they've not been doing that. I don't know the arrogance of church leaders thinking they can get away with lawlessness as well. So we're appealing not only to business, not only to residents, but these are leaders of society, faith-based organization leaders and leaders of society. They must do the right thing as well. So we are closing this down. So the people who are members of this church, they must understand that they are not allowed to congregate here until the city opens up. But I think Councillor Rakabe, this is one of the cases that you have identified to say the city has been turning a blind eye. Can we finally do something? And I think the work must continue, and we'll continue to monitor, especially in
According to the Constitution of South Africa, yes, foreigner can own a church in South Africa, as the country's constitution guarantees the right to freedom of religion and religious practices, which includes the right to own and operate religious institutions. However, The individual or organization establishing the church must comply with the relevant immigration laws to ensure their right to reside and operate legally in the country. Let's look at the legal framework of the Constitution. Freedom of religion, Section 15 of the South African Constitution guarantees everyone the right to freedom of conscience, religion, thought, belief, and opinion. Religious institution, religious community have the right to gather, own property, and build religious building. No obligations to register. South African law does not currently require churches or religious organizations to have a license to operate. Let's look at the registration of legal entity. Depending on the chosen legal structure for the church, e.g., a non-profit organization or public benefit organization, registration with relevant government departments may be necessary. Practical consideration for foreigners. The visa requirements. Foreigners who wish to establish or lead a church in South Africa must ensure they have the appropriate visa, such as a long-time visitor's visa for religious leaders, which requires a contractual offer of employment from a South African religious organization. These are the visa requirements that you must have to be able to establish or lead a church in South Africa. Let's talk about the property ownership. Foreigners have the same rights as South African citizens to buy property, including property for a church. Important notes. While there are no specific laws prohibiting foreigners from owning churches, immigration law must be followed for their right to live and work in South Africa. Do you guys understand this? So you must follow the rightful process to live in South Africa. So if you're a foreigner there and you want to establish a church, you need to follow the proper guideline. If it's a non-governmental profit organization or public benefits organization, registration with relevant government departments is necessary. So depending on the legal structure for the church, so it depends on the legal structure for the church, so you need to register it, e.g. if it's a non-profitable organization or public benefits organization. So to my South Africans, all these things are in the Constitution of South Africa, but the issue with my South African people is that most of these foreigners, they are overdoing it, and it's getting to them. That's why would you come to this country and be performing your rituals and be doing all sort of things? Why can't you go back to your country? Because I'm going to be sharing another video again. This video is a video of some Nigerians installing, I think, a local chief in South Africa, and South Africans are not having it. Guys, if this is an old constitution, please, I stand to be corrected. You can correct me in the comment section. You can comment below and tell me what you think about the Constitution of South Africa against foreigners owning a church or building in South Africa. Correct respectfully, like the video and share.